to 10 friends, they gotta support first. When I first started out, I had my homies that I was like, listen, everything I drop, I need you to share it. Every single thing I drop. So that's how it started building. Now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm not calling everybody up, yo, post this, share this, because I'm slowly building that network. And that's how I charted. I went to my circle first, and I was like, I need your support on this. Like, you know, everybody says they support you. But when it comes down to it, are they going to go out and get your album? Are they going to go leave a comment? Are they going to do all those things? So I kind of held everybody accountable a little bit, and I was like, listen, I explained to them like why it's important. I'm independent. I need the support. You guys are actually going to spark this for me. And once you spark it, it will spread. And so when I dropped it, within like, I had a pre-sale for a week prior to dropping the project. And halfway through that, I went on iTunes and I noticed that I was on the section that said pre-sales. So I knew something was happening that was in my favor, like these algorithms or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, something's happening because here I am, I'm showing up now on the front page of iTunes. But I didn't think it was like number 21 worthy. You know, so that was like, yo, I was on a high when I saw that.
That's congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, and I like how you mentioned about your network.
Right.
Because of course, when it comes to your supporters, the people around you, they usually know the work that you put in to create.
Right.
So, you know, of course you're not going into too much detail, but as far as your process in creating this, and of course the difference between the first release and the Dreamers and Thinkers. To talk a little bit about the process, and to me, of course, this one, your timing was perfect, especially what was going on in the world.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about that. What do you feel like, you know, as far as the process and the timing of your release?
I think that nothing was planned that way on this second project, other than the fact that I knew I was going to get these collabs. And I was blessed and lucky enough to get the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a super squad on there. And, but I literally dropped the first project and I started working on the second. So it just timed itself that way. And then when it was time to name the project, we were going through different titles, and somebody had said to me, like, who did you make this project for? Who do you make music for? And I said, well, I make music for the Dreamers and Thinkers. And that's how the title stuck. Little did I know all of this other stuff was coming down the line behind me. Like, we had done the artwork, we had completed it before all this stuff started happening with the election and Trump being voted into office. The artwork was already done. That artwork showed all the fucked up things that were happening. And then it so happens that he wins. It so happens that there's that whole Dreamers movement going on. Like, none of it was planned. It was like, this is how I felt, this is what we're doing. And it just all fell into place like it did. So, I mean, I only have like one record on there where I really touch like what's going on, like where we take it to a very serious route. And that's so much more with Torre and Kid Vicious. I mean, other than that, you know, every record has like a vibe and a feeling to it, but we didn't go into that. We didn't say, okay, I'm gonna make a political record. I'm gonna take what's going on and I'm gonna put it all into, it just happened that way. So, you know, the timing was incredible.
Perfect. And I know you touched on the Kid Vicious record, and one of my personal favorites, just because of me, but that Crown record.
Yes.
You know, and just how you of course, you know, just you mentioned about, you know, stuff that was going on. I feel like that Crown record is, I mean, perfect, you know?
Right.
So that record alone, just tell me a little more about that. Like, do you feel like the record was more like, regardless of anything that's going on in this world, that nobody's gonna take that from you? Is that, or, yeah?
That record just, so much has gone into that, from the actual recording of the vocals to the video. So we started that in, I had done a verse and a hook on it. And I was sitting down one day, I'm like, who am I gonna get on this? And immediately John Connor came to mind. And I was like, you know what? Let me call him. Got on the phone with him, I said, I have this record, I think you're gonna love it. I'm gonna send it to you, I'd love to have you on the record. I sent it to him, I think he had it back to me in like 2 or 3 days. And his flow was incredible, you know what I'm saying? We matched each other's flows, and it was like, it was insane. When I heard it, I was like, this record is done. It's perfect, it's a wrap. And then Street went to Detroit, and he was in the studio with Royce.
Oh.
And I think like maybe, I want to say like 2 weeks before the project wrapped, Royce hopped on the record. And he took it to the next level. So here I have this incredible work that, you know, and I think, again, I went on the record talking about my struggle in the music game. You know, like, you're never going to take my crown. And then John's had his own, you know, obviously everybody's had their own struggles or their come-ups or whatever it is. He spoke his story, and then Royce told his story. So it was like a very honest record about everybody's journeys. And then we took it and we got it animated. Yeah. And
amazing video, by the way.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So I guess as far as animation, I mean, tell me a little more about that, because I'm a big comic book guy.
Right.
And I think the way you did that was, I can't even find the word for it. It's just one of those things where your animations and the storytelling, or storytelling. So tell me a little more about the video.
I'm not going to take credit for the video. I'm going to give the credit to Street Runner.
There we go.
It was his idea. He was like, listen, we're going to take this and I'm going to animate it. And I got the right team of people behind this. And we started off with illustrations. So we had a really great illustrator, and he had to actually draw out myself, John, and Royce. And once he got us right, then we were like, okay, how are we going to throw in elements of this record, you know? And so it turned into like this great lyric video / comic book. And I mean, visually, it's insane. Like, you know, anytime you get to see yourself as a superhero, it's dope.
No, it's great. So, and of course, right now, you know, especially when it comes to women in the industry,
right?
You know, and of course, I guess we'll go in that direction. As far as you being, I mean, your independence, your vibrant. Tell me a little more about, I guess, you know, when it comes to you and continue to stay true to who you are and standing out against, you know, this industry.
I mean, I just have to do me. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, you know, I just gotta keep real to what I like, what's comfortable to me, what I can stand behind as an artist. You know, that's everything, like my visuals, the content of my records, all of that. Because at the end of the day, I have to go sell this. I have to be the one to perform these records. I'm the one in the videos. So I feel like, and I've always had that mentality when people have asked me, they're like, who do you sound like? Or who would you compare yourself to? I'm like, no one. Like, I'm in my own lane. You know, and I choose to be in my own lane. And I feel like I have the edge of being able to sing and rap. And so I use that, you know, to my benefit. Like, if I hear a record needs a rapper, like, all right, I'll do the 16 on there. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I enjoy doing both. Like, I really, truly would not want to have to choose.
Oh man, that's awesome.
You know?
Yeah, like and of course, you know, I'm always on Instagram, and I noticed on your Instagram, I noticed a lot of the I guess I really want to call it like spirituality aspect of it, but I guess what you know, you may have already said it, but what drives you, or what's some of your I guess your drivers, your inspiration to do what you do, and of course, you're more than just a musician. I know you're doing the acting thing as well.
Right.
And of course, we'll touch more on that.
Okay.
But so what continues to drive you to want to, you know, keep fighting for this?
I think that when you have a passion for something you do, you're gonna do it if you see success or you don't see success. And I think that's the key right there. You're passionate. I'm passionate about music, and I'm gonna always do it. I'm always gonna make music. I'm gonna be a creative person. And if the success comes with it, that's when you win. You know, so it's like, that's happened to me so many times where I've had to go through all the shitty things and just keep going and putting one foot in front of the other, not expecting anything to come from it, except doing what I really love to do. And then something will hit, and it'll be like, I did all this work. I did all the things I didn't want to do just so I could have this moment right here. You know, and I think that's what it is. If you're not passionate about it, you're never going to get anywhere, especially not with music. You know, it's got to show, like, you got to be your own fan. I can't sell you a record if I don't think it's the shit. You know, and that's the thing. Like, I'm my biggest fan. Like, I think I'm the fucking shit. I think when I get on stage, I will rip it down. You know what I'm saying? I will make you a fan. I will, and that's what being an artist is about.
Definitely. And I know, and I will say, I'm sorry I missed it, but your South by Southwest performance. That, like, I saw it on Instagram. Tell us a little about that, the South by Southwest experience. I mean,
it was my first time at South by.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was your first time?
Yeah, it was super dope, and I got to perform at Facebook.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, and being in that environment.
Yeah.
And it was just a really good time. I mean, I look at every show like they're equal. So I don't care if I'm performing right here in front of 5 people. I'm gonna give it the same intensity that I'm gonna do at Facebook, at wherever. It does, for me, that's an important thing. Again, as an artist, that should be a rule for everybody.
Yeah.
So it was just a good experience all around. I got to meet a lot of great people and make a lot of good contacts. And thank you.
I saw it.
Thank you. I zoned out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and those are the performances that are the best.
Perfect. And the fact that you were performing in front of Facebook, I guess, let me ask you, when it comes to social media, pushing your music through different streams, I mean, what could you tell me in regards to, like, your key to getting your stuff out there? Of course, I know you mentioned about the, starting with your close-knit crew,
right,
or the people around you. And then when it comes to social media, how do you feel like it needs to be utilized better? Do you feel like people aren't doing it the right way when it comes to...
This is what I think about social media. I think there's a lot of it. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat. I mean, you could go on. I go where the love is. That's my #1 rule. Go where the love is, right? For me, that's Twitter. I have so much support on Twitter. And I've gotten to know my fans. And that's another important thing with every artist. Like, people always say to me, like, is this really you? Are you really texting back? Yeah, like, I'm going to hit you back. You say you like my record. You're supporting me. You went out and got it. Of course I'm going to hit you back. Like, I want to get to know you. I want to know your name. I want to know why you like this record. And that's been my biggest, I guess, it's like a blessing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people really want to support you and they want to see you win. So for me, I push through Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I try to utilize as much social media as possible, but I don't, like I said, I go where the love is and I go where my success is. I don't try to chase everything. There's not enough hours in the day to do that.
Definitely, and yes, and I love how you interact with people, because I mean, I think I commented on the Crown record. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Then you kind of commented back to me.
Right.
I screenshot, showed my friends, like, oh my gosh, like the fact that you responded, I think that's so dope.
But and then here we are.
Yeah, there we go.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so important to give everybody, and I try my best. Like, as my networks grow, it becomes harder for me, but I truly sit and I try to hit everybody back when I have the time, and I'm getting to know the people that really, really support me. I'm getting to know their names, the cities they're from, and I try to give those people attention because they're really behind me all the time, and that's really how you build. Like, those are the most important people. They're buying the albums, they're buying the records. They're going to show support and share it to their friends and so on and so forth. Like, I tell my fans all the time, like, you guys are part of my promo team. And you're an essential part of my promo team. When I say, hey, can you guys retweet this for me? And they drop a link to a record, that's huge. And so those relationships are truly important to me. Like, I'm thankful to those people. So when you hit me up and you're like, I like this, I want to say thank you. And our relationship has grown, like, obviously,
good.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I know, so we talked about, of course, singing, MC. Now I see you want to get into the whole acting thing. Is that something you've been toying with for a long time, and now you just...
No, it came. It came. I was on, I moved to Atlanta, and then I ended up on a few movie sets. And I was so fascinated by everything that was going on, like behind the scenes and the camera work, and I mean, it was amazing to me. I was like a kid in a candy store, like, whoa. I could sit here and just observe. And so the eardrummers were working on a project. They're working on a TV show, and they said, hey, do you want to come in and be a part of this? And I said, absolutely. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to do this. So now I'm like kind of branching out. More people are contacting me through social media, like, hey, would you be interested in working on this project and that project? And I'm open because I'm a creative at the end of the day.
Definitely.
You know, so whatever it is, I'm down.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And before we go, I do want you to share the story about when you were practicing some lines in your home. And,
Yes.
And some people got called. You want to talk a little about that before
So
we go?
I was actually practicing a script, and in the script I'm having like a heated argument, and I guess like it was so heated that the cops got called. And you know, they came in and like, so they were like, yeah, no, we were listening outside for a while, and eventually we figured out you kept repeating yourself. Like it was like the same argument over and over again. And they're like, you did a great job though. And I'm like, thank you, you know? So now, like, when I rehearse, I'll actually, like, put a note on the door, like, hey, reading a script, you know, just so people don't think, like, anything crazy in there. But it was obviously a good, passionate fight.
That's awesome. The fact that cops got called, I think, is big. You know, that's great. I mean,
yeah, they were really cool about it. They were like, man, yeah, you're really good. You're on something. I'm like, thanks. So, you know.
But, so I guess before we go, what's next? What can we expect? And of course, your social media handles.
Well, I'm working on the third project. I signed to an entertainment company, a record label in LA. This was put together through super producer Omen.
Nice.
And so I signed with Vim Entertainment, and I'm probably 50% of the way through with the third project. You know, Street Runner's still there in my corner, still overseeing it. So that's super dope. And no features this time, no collabs this time. This one's all me.
Okay.
You know, I feel like I did it on the last project. Now I just gotta kind of bring it.
Definitely.
So I'm hoping to drop within the next couple months. I need to just wrap it up, and you know, that's my goal right now.
Perfect.
Project 3. 3 is my lucky number. So
there you go.
You know, I'm hoping now that I feel like once you hit 21. The top 20s is fucking easy.
Yeah.
But, you know, it may not be easy. It's probably gonna be hard. Let's face it. But it's more of a reality because I'm telling you, I said 190 to 200 on that last project.
Yeah.
21.
No, you got that, especially
so you know.
I think
I'm gonna need everybody's support. I'm gonna need everybody to get behind the project again, and you know.
Definitely.
So I want to thank everybody for that, though. Like that was huge to me. Like just my circle and everybody supporting it and taking time out of their day to go get the project, comment on it, you know, rate it, do all, like people don't understand, as an independent artist, like you got to really understand the business. And nowadays everything is so, you know, there's all these algorithms and things we have to think about, and it's like next level shit. Yeah. So everybody that went out and supported it, like, man, that meant a lot, you know, for me.
Perfect.
And I couldn't have done it without everybody's help, so.
Well, we can't wait.
I'm excited.
All right. And the handles, social media.
Yes, so you can follow me at AdELA Music, ADELA Music, on Twitter and Instagram, and check out my YouTube at AdELA TV. I guess I should be looking at the camera, right?
No, that's all good.
Follow me at AdELA Music, ADELA Music on Instagram and Twitter, and check out all my videos on YouTube/AdELA TV. And hit me up, because I will hit you back.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Perfect.